Hello. I want to bring something to your awareness about the presidential elections in America right now. If you've known me for a while, you also know I don't do politics. So I am not here to tell you who to vote for. I am here as somebody who's always looking at where consciousness is rising and where the psychological interplays are and what they are, so that I can understand how to help support people in their upliftment. And I wanted to bring this to our attention so that we can all see where there is right now in politics, in our elections, this opportunity for rising standards, for empowerment, for upliftment, for greater enlightenment. And it does come through one particular person who's running. And I want to say this too, is to make sure you know I am not telling you necessarily to vote for her, but to notice things about this person. And I want to say this too, because you have all of your own values, beliefs, ideas, past experience, policies that you want to see in place. And you should definitely vote for what you feel are your priorities. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that this person fits into that or not. But I really see in a lot of ways that this person transcends in certain aspects by far any politician that I have ever seen in my lifetime. And I don't agree with all of the things on her platform. The person that I'm talking about is Marianne Williamson. And I see her as somebody who is authentic, transparent, honest, aware, and courageous. We have been complaining about politicians for a long time and them not embodying those characteristics. So here's an opportunity for us to notice somebody who may meet some of the aspects in our heart that we desire and create space for more people like that to run, just by having that visibility of the existence of Marianne Williamson running for president. She actually ran the last elections as well. And it seems like she's getting quite a bit more clout this time, which is exciting to see. And I don't usually even do this much research on politics, but I read through most of her website. It is extensive. I kind of peeked at some of the other candidates' websites, and there's nothing that compares with the amount of care, attention, research that she has put into the website. But it really stands out to me of how many issues that she's addressing, but also where she tries to come in kind of like a judge would, where they're trying to see both sides of a story and figure out what is fair, what is peaceful. So in some of her talks, I've heard her also mentioning what both Democrats and Republicans want. She's running on the Democratic ticket. So you'll see her policies seem to match a little bit more of what Democrats would want, but she's very aware of what Republicans want as well. And then that could create more space to marry that. I see this when I look at psychological interplay as a great opportunity, because the polarization in America is insane. And this is what's dividing us. And I have this little joke in my head right now. I haven't started saying it yet, but it's kind of like a Game of Thrones thing, where at a certain point, they were starting to realize that the White Walkers were a bigger threat than all the people fighting over the crown. And that they should start bonding together instead of fighting each other to combat this bigger element. And this is a different discussion to talk about what's the bigger element. But I think it's time that we stop being so divided and that we come together, because there are more important battles for us to fight that are bigger than just the two sides against each other. And so anyone who's coming in and figuring out how to merge us rather than diverge us, to me, is very important to notice. And she admits when she's wrong. But here's the biggest thing. She walks her talk. The first thing I'll say is I've been paying attention to her for quite a few years because she did the opening talk for my spiritual teacher many, many years ago. That was the first time I came across her. And then I followed her. She used to teach A Course in Miracles, by the way. So she does have a spiritual background. She does not have the political background, but we've had people come into presidency who weren't politicians before, or like the mayor of California. So these things do happen, or I should say the governor of California. And what happened was I took one of her women's goddess, empowerment trainings. And what she said, and she would have phrased this differently, I'm sure, if it was an audience of mixed gender, right? But at the time, it was all people classifying themselves as female. And she said that it's up to any female who's noticing what is immoral about this world to speak up about it. So I'm sure she would have said for anyone who has the ability to notice what's immoral, to use our voice and to speak up, to help make change. And here she is noticing the breakdown of all the things, so many of the things, maybe not all the things, yeah, but so many of the things that are in trouble, that are challenged, that are problems, really, in this world, and speaking up about it. So she's walking her talk by saying it's up to us to speak up about it. And what is one of the biggest ways to speak up about it and try to invoke change, but by running for president? So guys, I just encourage you to check her out. And like I said, you may have your reasons to vote for her, to not vote for her, but I want you to notice her and to keep it in your prayers for more and more people to come forward and want to be our leaders who have these qualities of authenticity, of transparency, of honesty, of awareness, and of courage. Have fun with these elections. I hope it turns out fun and much better than some of the feelings in some of the other ones.